Hey everyone. I know that this is different from my normal style of content. Then again, I don't exactly have a specific genre exclusively make. That's neither here nor there. I'm making this video to essentially announce a change in my content for the next couple of videos and explain why. Um, Three of my friends who have their own statements that they wish to make in this video used to work for ItzMinty, a channel who is starting to gain a following in the with lyrics space. I say used to, as all three of them have either left or been kicked out very recently, with projects that they were still hoping to make. Now, originally, I was only ever planning to make the two lyric covers being Sans and Megalovania, respectively. But given the circumstances, I've decided I would take up writing and editing for said projects so that they can finally work on the things that they wanted to. So, essentially, what I am saying is that for a small portion of the foreseeable future, this channel will effectively be a with lyrics channel. Now, I know that the reason why they chose to leave, the ones that were able to make that choice anyway, is important. But I'm choosing to let them say what they wish to about their respective experiences with Minty. I will, however, take this time to finally voice my own grievances, as I did have the unfortunate experience of working with him uh, several months back. Long story short, Minty not only does not know how to direct a project or communicate with his team effectively, and is willing to use said team purely to gain popularity within the with lyric space, but is also heavily transphobic and homophobic, which is ironic considering he has chosen to cover Undertale and Deltarune songs. I originally was added to his team back before he started focusing on lyrical covers. I had auditioned for a couple different roles in the If Undertale Yellow Was Realistic series he was making at the time, and I was ultimately cast as Flowey. I would, as I was excited for the opportunity, offered to help with other things, such as writing, as Minty had voiced shortly after my joining that he was having trouble script writing. This almost immediately turned into me being appointed as the sole writer for the project. Something that was stressful, sure, but I was willing to do, as I wanted the project to come out, and I had offered after all. Fast forward a month or so, and Minty never really reached out for updates regarding the writing, but had instructed me to just keep writing, so I had. Up until, in a random voice chat call on Discord, it was revealed that the project had been quietly cancelled at least 2 weeks prior at that point. Everyone who was there and had been working on the project, as I had, were obviously not happy about being told that everything that they had been doing was just for nothing. Um, I was most likely the most vocal about my displeasure, though. Minty's response to this was to claim that it wasn't a big deal, and that I, and the others, were exaggerating, and that I was being sensitive and an asshole, as I would learn he was calling me behind my back, which is hilarious considering what he chose to say to my face. After If Undertale Yellow Was Realistic was officially cancelled, I was still a part of the team, sure, but I didn't have a role. I did attempt to audition for things, but I would never be cast, or I would never be, hired, as I do both art and voice acting. Um, as there was always someone better, a fact that Minty loved to mention at any given opportunity. This wasn't just towards me, but towards anyone who really cared to listen. He didn't care about anything anyone else was doing or working on unless it was for him, often for free, or they were popular, in which case he would gush about wanting to be on their level. In hindsight, comments such as, "If I have to be accepting to make it anywhere, then I'll accept it," in regards to transgender people, probably should have made it obvious where his priorities laid. Speaking of trans people, it's honestly laughable that he called me an asshole and sensitive behind my back, considering that for the 3 months or so that I worked with him, he would constantly misgender me and my partner. The 2 times he ever referred to me as she being very mocking in tone, and outright stating to my partner that they would always be a girl in his eyes, and that we were just a straight couple to him. On top of this, he would take seemingly any opportunity he could to insult me, take jabs at me and what I was working on at the time. Even tell me to my face that the only 3 lines that I would ever be given, being for the Big Shot cover, was only due to him feeling bad that I didn't do anything else, knowing full well that he only chose the better people for the projects he actually cared about doing well. 3 months of constant misgendering, homophobic and transphobic comments, and petty insults, and yet I'm apparently the sensitive asshole when I got fed up with it all and chose to leave. That sounds about right. In truth, and you can believe this if you want to, or you can choose not to believe this, but in truth, I never did want to make this video. Oscar, one of the friends in this video, did always say that he had respected me for the fact that I didn't, paraphrasing here, try to bury him with a video like this. Unfortunately, with how he's chosen to treat my friends, proving that his apologies really never meant anything, and that he is still the way that I experience him, I don't have much of a choice here. I would much rather support the people with talent who want to use that talent to make something that they're passionate about. And if I have to be the platform that they go through in order to make that, then so be it. I've left my 3 friends' socials in the description of this video, and will do so on the lyrical covers as they release. It would mean a lot to me and them if you went and supported them. I think it's about time that I stopped rambling and let them say what they have to say about all this.
Hey there everyone, my name is Firebird's Call, also known as Flint Powerweaver, and I am your local Midwestern bird brain. Now, just to preface this, my section is scripted. I've never really done one of these videos before, so I just wanted to make sure that everything that I wanted to express got out there. So, please bear with me, this is gonna be really rough. I hope everything is easy to understand, and, I think that's it. So let's get started. Thank you all for taking the time to stop by and check this video out. I also want to thank Goober for giving me this chance to speak out about this, and I'm eternally grateful for all of my friends who supported me through this really rough patch. Y'all are honestly the best this stupid little bird could have asked for. Anyways, to kick things off, I wasn't around as long as the others were, only being cast as Susie on September 3rd, 2025, and being let go on May 24th, 2026. Starting there, actually, I wasn't directly told why I was let go. I only found out later through the others, who informed me that I was let go because of them defending my TV world harmonies being altered without my knowledge. Yes, I did tell Minty he could change things, but I honestly expected any changes to be run by me, the one who spent hours individually writing each part for Minty. Another thing that Minty tried to cut without my knowledge was the interlude for A Mother's Love, which I hand-composed from scratch and actually played my own flute for, even though that was also saved by my friends, which Thank you. Knowing that's something I had handcrafted and used my own breath for, which, side note, I do have lung breathing issues that I will not dwell on here, almost broke my heart when I found out. Overall, I didn't really have it as rough as the others, but I still wanted to speak up. For all of those who Minty compared to me, I am so genuinely sorry. I had zero clue he did that, and honestly, am just genuinely upset about it. Being in the With Lyrics community has been a dream of mine since I was small, so my heart goes out to all who got their experiences ruined for them. Everyone is strong and powerful just the way you are, and only time will tell as you improve on the things you love. You all are loved and appreciated, so don't be afraid to show the world who you are. Keep fighting and never give up. Again, I have been Firebird's Call. Thank you for listening, and have a good rest of your day. Love you guys.
I used to think that Minty was a pretty alright guy. That he was just someone who wanted to make stuff he was passionate about because that's what he liked doing. But it's clear to me now that he only wanted popularity and he wasn't above using those he called his friends to gain it. He would archetype us as if we were nothing more than these characters he'd talk to every once in a while. He'd describe Oscar as the grumpy one, Goober as the sad one, or me as just the guy that's just there. He'd also make comments during calls like, "Oh wait, you're too young, I'll just wait until you're 18 to fuck you." Which he obviously meant as a joke, but it's still pretty weird to say to me, especially when I was 17 at the time, and then doubled down on those jokes the literal moment I became 18. I started to notice the fall off when Goober left Minty after he said that Goober was always complaining and bringing the mood down, which just isn't true. I actually really enjoyed having Goober in VC with us. When he sent an apology to me, I genuinely thought that he actually learned from his mistakes and was willing to be better, especially after I wasn't active in either of his servers and in his DMs. I hadn't really noticed this kind of stuff back then, but once the realization hit, on top of learning everything else he's done, I couldn't work with him any longer. The last thing I ever did for him was yell, "It's TV time!" in his TV World cover because that was when I thought he was still doing better. This wasn't the first time I had to cut ties with someone who did awful things behind the scenes, but at least I know better now.
What's up? I'm Oscar. I worked with Minty for only a couple months or so, but that's not important. One thing I will note is a lot of what I say here unfortunately doesn't have evidence or proof outside of myself and what I have in real life due to this, as Minty has only ever really expressed these things in private calls, leaving them completely untraceable. However, I'll try my best to provide as much context to things as possible. Also, quick note, all of the art on the right side of the screen has been done by me and were all used in Minty videos that have since been taken down as per my request. The first signs of Minty changing up on me after a good and supportive friendship was when he had convinced me to start charging money for my art. So I did just that. After all, he told me nothing would change and that he'd just love to give me money for my work and the effort I put in. This was when Protocol had just come out. After I added a price to my art, he had done a complete 180 in who he'd commission. I am a very amateur artist, and Minty was my friend. I have only been drawing for around 2 years. However, the second a price was in the picture, a price that, bear in mind, he suggested to me and said nothing would change, he wasted no time in finding different artists. And these artists, let's just put it simply, are a lot better than I am. That's completely fine. More experience, more years put into art, and is it jealousy? Yeah, maybe. But it doesn't change the fact that I was essentially replaced by someone I had called a close friend. Come December, I was super low, and that had only spiraled down. I have extreme issues when it comes to my self-worth and have since been diagnosed with depression. I have been to therapy and am on prescribed antidepressants, and unfortunately a lot of these feelings have come from the sudden isolation and seemingly replacement I faced once Minty felt I didn't make the cut. Whether this was his intention or not, I am unsure. However, it is what has unfortunately happened. And now for a fairly recent thing Minty has done, as of the last few months. We were catching up, and I told him about how I am bisexual, and am seeing a man. This man I am seeing is a transgender man. I love him very much, and he is amazing, However, upon me saying the stuff, I wasn't met with any form of congratulations or affirmation, but was instead met with, "So, doesn't that technically make you straight if he's transgender?" Now, I was shocked. I had no idea what to say, so I didn't really say anything. It was disgusting. It's shocking that things like trans men are men and trans women are women even need to be stated, because surely that should just go without saying. Minty didn't make me feel weird for my sexuality. Instead, only made me realize more that I actually very much like my partner now. So thanks for something, at least, Minty. Not only was that transphobic from him, but also homophobic. Side note, the man I mentioned earlier, I am dating now, so hooray. Now, everything I've already said has been stuff that has happened to me personally, so let's get to some stuff that is more on a wide scale. Minty has often said a lot of things about people behind their backs. I won't name anyone. However, if you are in the with lyrics space, like Minty is, chances are he's had his gripes, grievances, or God forbid you have come out as anything within the last year, probably transphobic remarks. I certainly know he has made remarks because he has made them to me, and once again, friendly reminder, I have a boyfriend who is transgender. A thing that has always annoyed me is how comfortable he is speaking to me with this stuff too. He deemed me a friend, and while I once had been around the time we met, truth is I haven't really seen us that way for a while. He's more like a colleague at a job who's a bad person, but you work with them out of proximity. Another thing I'll say is a few months ago, whilst in a call with another friend of ours, who I won't name out of respect, he spoke to us in length about how America should bomb Israel and commit mass genocide on them because they are everything that is wrong with America. I am not an American man, if you could not tell by my voice. I am born and raised in the south of England and care naught for politics. It was just absolutely disgusting, some of the things he said in that call to us. And of course, Minty has been very transphobic towards the creator of this video, Goobergal, who is a very good friend of mine, on top of some of the other people in this call as well, which I have been there for those events too. I feel cheated, wasted, and a little lost. But thanks to Goober, her partner, along with the two other people in this video, and everyone else in our circle, along with my now amazing partner, I am glad to say I'm on the up from the shit I've had to deal with from Minty. However, it doesn't excuse what he did, and I hope I've spread some awareness about this. If you can support the artists and other extremely talented people in the with lyrics space, that would be amazing. God knows they deserve it. Of course, go look on Minty's channel at the artists featured in his video. Go give him a commission or even a follow anywhere. It'd be really cool. And with that, just cheers for listening.
If you watched this far, I just want to thank you. I don't like to get involved in drama like this, but it felt necessary to provide context as to why I'm going to be making more lyrical covers, and why my friends wanted to no longer associate with someone who's known for using people for personal gain, transphobia, homophobia, and making sexual jokes about fucking a minor and then doubling down when he finally turns 18. I wish I was joking about that. Before this video ends, I do have one last announcement regarding the state of my channel, and that is that I now have a Discord. Like, literally everyone else. If you want to be notified of when I randomly post a video, or see sneak peeks of what I'm working on, or potentially participate in future uploads, you can use the link below and join the Discord. Although, if you wanted to get notified of when I uploaded, you probably could have just subscribed, but, you know, whatever floats your boat. That's going to be it from me. I hope you all have a good day, wherever you are, and I hope you tune in for what comes next. Wait, that makes it look like we died.